I guess our little gang of rats were turning into a club of some type. Over the coming days we all grew closer. Things like money or who you wanted to be really didn't affect people here, so we didn't let it affect us. But there were places that bordered Red River that had been affected by the echoes of the 1960s. Drugs and alcohol fueled and burnt many lives in the slums of Red River. Some say this is where the ragman floated in from. One morning Lily came running over, worried about her mother. Her father wasn't home yet and her mother had went away. As Lily put it, I think she got that urge, and Daddy will kill her if we don't get her home. Life reminds me of a ball of worms, moving, twisting and slithering over each other. Regardless of our intent or intentions, our goals. At times people are slammed together from verbose of society, from the opposite sides of the world, cultures and religions. If we are meant to be in that ball of worms, those people will meet and find each other and move, twist, and slither over each other for the good or bad. Grandmother didn't leave the house that much, but when she did it was an infighting event. Either she was battling with herself or just the fact she had to go here or there. But something that Lily said, something about her mother sparked something in grandmother. The old lady grabbed her Nanette cloche hat, slammed it against her leg as if to knock the dust off and ordered me to gather the boys. She wasn't a tall woman, maybe a little over 5 feet, not large either, but Mr. Black's bacon deliveries didn't help her weight goals if she had them. Grandmother owned 2 cars, a Chevrolet Convair built sometime in the 50s, and an old Jeep that she called the Moose. She loved the Convair. It had been a birthday gift from grandfather after they had a meeting of the minds. She wanted a red Convair. When asked why she wanted a red one, her answer was simple: if I ever have to run over your grandfather, there may be a dent, but you won't see the blood. I took the answer as if something had happened between them at some point, but I didn't pry. We all jumped in the old car. Grandmother gave the key a twist. A huge puff of grey smoke filled the sky, and with the look of a woman on a mission, she said, "Off the river slums we go." For a moment during our drive, no one said anything. This was an uncertain adventure. I drifted back to a few days ago, when grandmother left a present on my bed. This was a strange present, a small box filled with hand-drawn maps and pictures, a few notebooks from her son. I wanted to ask her about them, but I didn't feel the time was right. This morning had turned sour. On way the slums, we pasted the old lady's house with the cats. Groups of 12 cats lined each side of the road, watching us as we drove by. They moved and swayed as if they were blades of grass in a summer wind. Their little eyes followed the Corvair. Grandmother increased her speed, mumbling, "I never did like that woman." The slums was a failed housing development, brought in by the state in hopes to bring more jobs to the town and the dam on Red River. It turned into a cesspool of drug users and drunks, others that had lost their way, or just wanted to be left alone. This wasn't the first time grandmother had been to the slums. I didn't ask why or how, but she knew a man called the captain. The captain was the official at the slums. He knew anyone or everyone that would slide in there for a night. As a boy I thought the captain was a strange-looking creature, his pale face, blue navy jacket and what looked like long grey hair hidden under a captain's hat. His house was a shit-colored yellow. I am sure it had seen better days, but for the most part it looked homey. I expected broken-down cars in the yard, motors on blocks, piles of beer cans. But other than the yellow, his place looked much like the other houses you could find in Red River. Grandmother pulled into his driveway and blew the horn. Over beside us on a woodpile a murder of crows barked at us. I was told once that if you split their tongue, they could talk like a human. The old man found his way to the car, reached in and grabbed grandmother's hand. "It's been a long time," he said as his breath laced with wild turkey spoke to our noses, before his words could reach our ears. "Have you seen this girl's mother?" grandmother asked. "I don't know her. Do you have a picture?" the old man said right before he took a spit. Lily, do you have a picture of your mother? Before she could say something else, Lily quickly handed the man a picture of her mother. Well, I would have remembered a lady like this. I haven't seen anyone new in here in some time. It's been somewhat slow, after the murders in the slums. Murders? I managed to ask. Some guy got on some bad dust, the kind that makes you see things, do things. He went from house to house, knocking on doors. The ones that would answer, would get a knife in the gut. Strange too, right before he stabbed them, he would say, little fly, time to die. Girl, I hope your mother didn't run into this man, he is still out there somewhere. I don't know if people were just blowing up the ordeal, but the guy at the gas station called the murder, the rag man. Rag man? Someone from the back whispered. Bunch of drunks will talk, but they call this creature that live near the dam, the rag man. Some say he was here before the dam was built, others say even longer. They say he was from the town they flooded to make the dam. What town? This is Red River, this is the only town here. This was a moment when I thought I had the upper hand, but as I learned the younger you are, the less you know. Before the dam was built, the river you see, it was a valley, and in that valley was a very large town. Someone in the state's office thought it would be best to build a dam, mostly for water reasons, but if they did they would have to flood the old town. People were warned, others wouldn't leave. The guy in charge of the project didn't care. He said when the water comes they will leave. Some never did.